Future Jam.
Welcome to the Future Jam, a tech news podcast for enthusiasts and casual listeners alike. I'm Mike, and once again, I'm here with my good buddy Alex. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Mike. How's it going? How's life? How's the world? What's new?
You know, my house is a hotel right now, and I found
a hotel for dogs?
No, for family members.
Okay.
And I found a small sliver of time to record this episode.
Yeah, earlier this week you said, let's not do an episode. I don't know if I have time. And then you text me like, hey, can you do a short episode? I want to get away from my family.
I did not say those words, but...
It was implied. It was heavily implied. You were like, do you want to do a marathon episode where we do one for like 24 hours?
That would be a good idea to avoid the family. Run a whole marathon episode.
We really have to do it. It's the annual Future Jam 24-hour episode.
Yeah, that's something that will probably never happen. I don't understand who would watch a marathon episode or who would participate in one.
Me and you.
No. Unless we were actually making some monetary gain or, you know, maybe helping out a cause like sick kids somewhere. I don't know.
The only cause Mike cares about is sick kids.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
It doesn't matter where.
As long as they're not close to you.
Yeah, not in my house, but, you know, we'll help them. Definitely. But speaking of marathons, let's just jump right into the weird tech of the week. Unless you're about to say something like profound.
I was going to tell our listeners the meaning of life, but not anymore. You had a good segue.
Well, okay. Well, I messed that up. But anyways, we had the first story on the docket is watch Cassie, the bipedal robot, run a 5K. And we're going to watch this video right here for the whole 5K. I think it's like 25 minutes. So
No, it's 43 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It's 43 minutes and 49 seconds.
That's like pretty slow.
Yeah, but it's a robot that has just legs kind of running. But it's like a big thing where wasn't tethered to anything, so it was just free running. Well, somebody was controlling it. But it ran a 5K.
I did read a little bit into this, and this is, if you've watched these robot videos in the past, I'm sure a lot of people just watch them on YouTube just for the fun of it, to go to sleep at night. This one was the one that was trained itself to like walk up and down stairs without cameras and all that. So this is kind of an interesting robot design. And I never really heard of it until this story, honestly.
No, yeah, it's out of Oregon State University. And yeah, they said they designed one to go up and down a flight of stairs with that camera, which was big, and now they're able to run or move long distances without being tethered to something. Because right now, most robots need to be tied to something kind of to stay up for long periods of time.
That, and I think they get their, like, the computer
battery
chips
charge
are hooked into them, and like batteries and all that stuff, like to power them. And maybe they're worried about their expensive piece of tech falling over and breaking. I don't know. They should probably make them more durable. But yeah, this is, I guess this is like the design that they're going to use for their delivery robots. Or maybe this is like the core base of their delivery robot idea. So there is a product behind this, and it's kind of interesting to see a robot go for almost an hour without needing to be recharged. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's exciting if you're not scared of the future of robots taking over.
Well, this one wasn't carrying a gun or anything, Alex. It was just running.
Yeah, but imagine like it's Black Friday, 6 a.m.
And a whole bunch of them start storming the front of the store to get deals.
You can't stop them.
You can't. Yeah, I guess if you bought one just to go shopping, you know, like you bought like 10 of these and like send them into different stores to get deals off the shelf before everybody else. Yeah, that's feasible. Yeah, I can see that future.
That's what I would use a robot for.
Is a deal robot?
Yep, they go do my shopping on Black Friday for me.
I mean, I think you could just bypass that all, just design an AI software to auto buy stuff online that you run out of, and you never have to shop again.
But where's the thrill of the chase? Amazon tries to do that with like their you can keep getting stuff, sent to you every month.
Subscribe and save, yeah.
Yeah.
But that stuff keeps going up in price and you don't even notice it.
We were doing it for muffins, like the little Debbie muffins.
Okay.
My kids love them. And we did it for like a couple months, and then they upped the price, and I'm like, it was a service isn't worth it. It was like, say it was like $3, like went up to like $3 a box instead of the $2. Like, well, let's go to Kroger and buy them. Like, I don't need them delivered. If you offer me a cheaper price, yeah, but that's like the same thing when I get all subscription services. They slowly raise the price on you, so they don't think you would cancel it.
And I don't know if Amazon even tells you that the price is being raised if you are subscribed.
I'm sure they have to send you out an email.
I don't remember seeing anything, but maybe my items haven't really increased that much. I don't know, but
I think it doubled more. I think it was probably like we were paying like $2.50 at Kroger, and it was like $5 now through Amazon. And it was like it wasn't worth the convenience. The price wasn't like worth the convenience.
Yeah, sometimes the things just skyrocket in price out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So
which
makes sense. But yeah, let's just jump into our next robot.
Well, yeah, this one
is weird. This is all weird tech of the week.
This is scary.
Not really scary.
Like, this is the robot you would see as like a robot that goes bad in like a horror movie. This is what this robot looks like.
All this robot can do is shoot basketballs. So, Alex, are you going to be pelted in the head with a basketball and die?
Yeah, by a robot that's 6'10" tall, giant hands, weird skin, and one glowing red eye.
That is a pretty scary robot, not to lie.
It is creepy looking.
Was this in the
Olympics?
Picture of it. I'm assuming.
Yeah, so I didn't send you the article. My wife sent me an article. Like Japan's known for like being a technologically advanced country.
Tell me more.
Well, some people might not know.
Okay.
Some people still think they might be like geishas and samurais and all.
Yes, they're still in the samurai age.
Yeah, but like they have a whole bunch of robots at this Olympics. Like there was a couple that were designed to meet fans and high five and stuff. But COVID, they kind of scared some of them back. They haven't made. They just haven't been promoting them. We can post a link to that article in the in the show notes.
We post a link to all the articles in the show notes.
Yeah, but I didn't send you this article.
Well, I put it in there. I found it.
Okay, but this one, Toyota made a basketball playing robot Q4. And like we were saying, it's like 6'10", so it's moves slow, but it can pick a basketball up off the rack.
It takes 15 seconds to calibrate.
Yeah, it calibrates, and then it can shoot. They say it could go 100 out of 100.
So I dug deep into this, just curious. And this program, it's on the 4th iteration, but I guess they initially designed it to do this, but then they're just people who work for Toyota, and they do this in their free time. So this wasn't actually made by Toyota proper. It's just some people that worked at Toyota doing this as a hobby.
I wonder if Toyota gives them access to some technology that they can use.
Yeah, I think other companies do that as well. Like some other tech companies encourage their people to I think it's Google that did that. But anyways, that's aside. But they actually brought it to other basketball games in Japan over the years, and it's gotten slowly better. And recently, I think it was last year, it actually competed in a 3-point shoot-off. You know, the one where you have to shoot a lot of shots in a row?
Yeah, 3-point competition.
Yeah, pretty fast. It has to go around the circle. This thing skates on roller skates or something. It's hard to explain. You can watch the video.
It glides. Yeah, it has to be on wheels, right?
Just
they didn't really say.
Moving is very creepy because it doesn't move its legs. It's in a shooting stance and just kind of glides in a shooting stance around the court. But anyways, they challenged other people to do a 3-point shoot off, and it was able to do it, but it wasn't nailing every shot. With 15 seconds, it can nail every single shot. But with the quick shots, it was hitting maybe every other one.
So was this competition when John Henry beat the steel drill?
Yes.
So You know, like some basketball player, like I have to do it and then beat him.
Yeah, it's not quite. I don't think it was good enough to actually beat a professional 3-point shooter.
It was a joke, Mike. It was a joke.
Went right over my head. Whoosh.
But I don't know. I find this robot creepy. It is like odd. Like in the hands, they're like kind of like so huge, like the size of the ball.
Yeah. Hey, but it's cool to watch it like kind of calculate and it nails a shot almost perfectly, and then it went back to half court. And then it nailed that shot as well.
Yeah, the video has it set up on like 3 different, like foul line, 3-point shot, half court.
Could do a full court shot though.
Yeah, but I guess like if you would put it down low in the paint, like it should, because the feet can't move, it should be able to take a good charge. You know, if it's outside that circle.
I want us to get to the point where we're actually seeing like robot basketball players compete against each other. But I don't know if they could do a dribble and then a shot, like to a shot. Like they'd just be rolling around on wheels, just like ready to shoot. They wouldn't be dribbling or anything like that.
What do you think the closest robot sport is? It has to be robot boxing, right? Eventually.
Yeah, robot boxing, or I guess you could consider that. What's the one where they have like axes and like saws and stuff like that?
Lumberjack games?
No, battle bots.
Oh, okay. So I thought you meant the Bills. Yeah, but that's not like a real sport. I'm talking about like trying to be a real sport.
Maybe like table tennis.
Yeah, I can see that.
Table tennis or something like that, because I think I've seen like a table tennis robot, and you know it just has an arm there, and it probably could go on forever.
Bowling, I think, would probably be an easy one.
Yeah, bowling. I could see bowling. Obviously, shooting, like if it's needs to target practice or whatever. I don't know. I'm not tuning into the Robot Olympics anytime soon.
No, you say that now, but give it 5 years and you'll be in.
I'd say 20 years, and yeah, we'll be reenacting real steel.
Be awesome. I love that movie.
I know. We've well documented that in the show.
It's a good movie. I don't care what you say.
I don't mind it. I never said I hated it. So, all right. Ready to hit the Tech News Bytes of the week, Alex?
Yep, I got my timer ready.
Tech News Bytes.
All right, the first one up is Elon Musk says Tesla will open its superchargers to other EVs this year. I think we talked about this rumor in past episodes, but it sounds like it's actually happening. I'm excited about something like this.
This makes sense. I think it's a wave of the future. We talked about this, like how right now there's going to be so many different charging stations for different cars and all. And eventually there's going to be a universal one.
Like they have in Europe?
Tesla, so like Tesla's smart by getting in early and letting people use it. I guess they're starting in Europe. They said they should be in Norway by the third quarter of 2022. And most like European car companies use the CCS connectors, which I guess is what Teslas use, right?
Well, if they sell in Europe, they have to use that universal connector over there. Over here, basically, you have to have a big set of adapters. So depending on what car charging place you're at, you can use adapters. But I guess right now, the Tesla Superchargers don't work at all with third-party cars, even if they had an adapter.
Yeah, and probably some type of programming that Tesla has in their superchargers.
Yeah, it's like software, so it recognizes the car when it connects up. So I'm assuming they will roll this out slowly in America because they probably don't want to roll it out to a supercharger that's already used. So if they rolled it to more electronic vehicles and there's already a high amount of vehicles going to that supercharger, it wouldn't make sense to overload it even further with other brands.
Yeah, and I just see this as, because all these other car companies getting into the electrical game, is that's another source of revenue for Tesla.
Yeah, it makes sense because that's like a steady revenue from other car manufacturers. Volkswagen already has a whole bunch that electrify America because they lost a big lawsuit. Next one up, we're sticking in the electric car category. Researchers are testing concrete that could charge your electric vehicle while you drive. And
this would blow that supercharger away.
I don't know how fast it would charge, or like if it's just like keeping you going for a small amount of time, or I don't know exactly what you would get out of this. But they claim that it's, first off, it's called Magment.
Sweet name.
Yeah, I'll get behind any product named Magment. That's a pretty sweet name. But it has some crazy stats that they're trying to push out there, record-breaking wireless transmission efficiency up to 95% efficient, standard road building, so they don't have to do anything special. The universal charging, all weather, has high thermal conductivity, vandalism proof. I don't know. Are people vandalizing roads?
I guess you just wouldn't be able to mess it up. Yeah, so it's a collaboration between the National Science Foundation, Indiana Department of Transportation, INDOT, Purdue University, and a German company. So yeah, Indiana's actually going hard into this. They wanted to see if it can work, and if they're it's a three-phase process. And if they get to the third phase, Indiana actually wants to try it on supercharged trucks and if that works there, they will roll it out across the state.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think the idea would be to cut down on the battery weight itself on the car, so the car would just have a smaller battery, so that way semi-trucks could carry more payload. So yeah, that makes sense on paper, and if it actually is efficient and can supply enough power to keep the battery charged at charge, or charging 1% an hour, that's enough,
Yeah, as long as it can keep it charged, I think it'll be fine. I mean, it's an interesting idea to look into. I think it's better than some of the other ideas that people are kicking around.
Yeah, if it's efficient, and we all know you lose a lot of electricity through wireless charging because of electricity just gets lost through the process, and it's not, and there's a lot of heat there, so you're also losing energy there. But from what I read, where there's a lot of electricity is just thrown away anyways. It gets generated, not used, and just wasted. So
where do you think it goes? The Speed Force?
Yes.
Next topic.
Next topic. All right. Next one up is Alexis finally gets a new name and a voice.
Yeah, so the new name, wake up name is Ziggy.
Wow.
I guess it's a computer from Quantum Leap. And then you can also pay to have new voices of Samuel Jackson, Melissa McCarthy, or Shaq. Know what this screams to me?
Desperation?
Desperation, and Amazon doesn't really have a big advancement in the Alexa applications like the Echo Dot and things like that.
Do you think they're kind of stagnating and they're using this as a distraction?
I think so. I think they probably want to announce something, and really, I don't know how much further they can advance what they have right now, technology wise.
To be perfectly honest, I've never used Alexa. I've always used the Google one. So I don't know how good it is. I hear the Google one's the best, but yeah, I don't know how good Alexa is in comparison.
But they kind of peaked at what they can do, right? How much more can they really do as a product, all of these?
I'm sure there's little weird advancements they could come up with that'll make the whole product smoother to access and use. We talked about in the past how they could understand what we're saying without having to use a wake word. That's something that's probably in the pipeline by a lot of these companies. Or
why would Amazon add one now? I think companies like having a wake word.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it, Amazon or Echo, you're constantly saying
the company
what the
name?
products is, yeah. Or Alexa, yeah. And you're tying that with the company.
But yeah, with Ziggy, are they going to start selling speakers that advertise Ziggy on it, so you can kind of get those as well? More masculine designed products?
I think Ziggy was trying to go for a pop cultural reference that some people will be into to try to make Amazon seem cool, but
well, they're not. So our next story up is Intel will make Qualcomm chips in a new foundry deal, and this is exciting because Intel's trying to diversify themselves a little bit, and we all need chip manufacturing at this point in time.
Yeah, so Intel has this new 20A process that's supposed to be revolutionary, I think. A lot of people...
you sound pumped.
I don't understand the making of chips, so I don't understand the process and what makes this process so special. But a lot of companies are excited for it. Qualcomm and the Dragon chip, what's it called?
Snapdragon.
It's supposed to be like one of the best chips in the market. And
yeah, so basically Intel is making the chips for Android phones now. So every Android phone, for the most part, if you have a phone that's not an iPhone, is powered by Snapdragon. And they're one of the biggest competitors to Intel right now. So basically Intel is building chips for their major competitor.
And that's what Intel does. This is what they were founded on. The chip game, they kind of got out of it, and we've talked about it. We're trying to build that back in and get back to what made them Intel. They also have a deal with Amazon that put chips in, work for chips in the tracking process for packages and all. So they said they're working with 100 different companies right now that want to use Intel's new foundry process.
Yeah, they have a new CEO, so he's pushing all these new ideas and trying to get Intel's name reestablished again as the forefront of technology, because they were kind of lagging behind a bit with the mobile technology. Next one up is Netflix is reportedly developing a live-action Pokémon series. I wasn't a huge fan of Detective Pikachu, but I think as a show, this might actually work better.
Yeah, I was surprised you put this up there, because I didn't know if you like Pokemon or not.
I have a soft spot in my heart for Pokemon.
I love Pokemon. I wasn't a big Pokemon Go fan. I always said if they could make a actual Pokemon game on your phone where you can walk around and have Pokemons and battle other people, would be a lot more fun. Pokemon Go, I think, was just a start. People do love it.
I think you're just sad because you couldn't play it on your couch.
That is true. No, you could get Pokemon randomly in your house.
Well, as it went on, they made it easier and easier to catch Pokemon in your own house. But early on, you had to go walking, and you were like, Mike, if I have to walk a mile to catch Pokemon, I am not playing that game.
Yeah, but I would be excited for a good Pokemon series. I like Pokemon. I thought Detective Pikachu was okay. Some parts were good. Some parts were I thought it was good in general. But it was a good start to see them make a decent amount of money from a Pokemon movie. Because I still think a lot of older people consider it still a fad, even though it's been around for 20 years.
I think if something's been around for 20 years, it's no longer a fad status. It's actually ingrained in society. Yeah. Disney is not a fad anymore.
But I still think people consider it a fad. I think people still associate Pokemon with the Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
And not really the games and the constant TV shows that they've been making.
Yeah, so I think those are people that probably aren't going to be watching the show anyways, so.
Probably not, but I'll be excited if it's good. I saw that in Japan they opened up a Pokemon fossil exhibit of what Pokemon fossils would look like. And it's traveling around Japan.
They've got some weird stuff going on in Japan, don't they? I want to see what a dead Pokemon looks like, because you never see him actually die and deteriorate. Check it out.
Yeah, what if Pokemon lived at the time of the dinosaurs?
All right, this final story in this week is Lucasfilm hires YouTuber who used deepfake to improve the Mandalorian. And this might include a spoiler if you haven't watched all of the Mandalorian.
Yes. So skip the next 2 minutes.
Skip the next 2 minutes if you haven't watched it. But basically, Luke Skywalker is de-aged, and it didn't look that great. It looked pretty bad, to be perfectly honest.
I didn't think it looked terrible.
But a YouTuber on his own decided to take the video, redo it himself, using deepfake software and whatever he used, and I guess the results were a lot better. And you can watch a side-by-side comparison video. I didn't see much difference, but it was definitely better than what was on Disney+.
And that guy doing it at home by himself. Yeah, YouTuber Shamak, S-A-M-O-O-K.
Shamook. Sorry, buddy. He's a huge fan.
Yeah, but he got a job from Lucasfilms as in the visual effects in Envision Industrial Lights and Magic division.
The reason why I add this, I just found it interesting that somebody can do this on their own and get recognized and hired by like a major, like this is like one of the major visual companies out there on the market. Like they're usually like at the forefront of all this stuff.
Yeah, you might think they're just like tied to Star Wars, but they do a lot of movies.
Yeah, they're one of the most highly regarded in the industry as far as that goes.
It's cool to see them recognizing talent and bringing them in. That's what you should do.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested where this tech will go. Like, will we eventually see movies where like dead actors are just brought back to life completely and used in like all films down the road? I don't know. I think it opens the door for that type of thing. But that's all the Tech Bytes of the week. We do have a quick summer series. It's based off of a op-ed. Is that what you would call it?
Yeah.
So it's based off an op-ed. Basically, this writer was posing like, has COVID changed our viewing habits? Like as far as like entertainment on TV and the internet, and just watching videos in general on screens. Has COVID changed our habits?
Yeah, because viewership across the board is down for every major event. The Oscars, the Super Bowl, and people constantly make new excuses of why they're down.
Yeah, I didn't realize how like down all this stuff was. I was reading through the article and they were just going through like everything, and they're like coming up with all these different excuses people had why all these things were down across the board. Yeah,
and the issue is we're not looking at stuff as a whole. Like when we look at like the Olympics are down, right?
Yes.
But they're still the number one show each night of the week since they've been on for primetime TV. Like they're still number one, and they don't take those numbers don't take into account streaming. So I found an article. I didn't send it to you because I found it while I was loading up my computer. They said the Olympics have streamed over 1 billion minutes of Olympics content across NBCOlympics.com, NBC Sports App, and Peacock. And this was by Monday of the Olympics starting. And like that doesn't take into account what people are actually watching when you just look at the viewership numbers nowadays. Because like the NBC Sports App, you can watch a whole bunch of different stuff than what they're just showing on NBC. And it's kind of better because you can watch what sports you want to watch at that time.
Yeah, so this writer basically posed that like instead of coming up with all these excuses of why things are down, they took the Occam's razor approach where the simplest answer is what you should look at. And their thought is we're just tired of looking at screens in general and we're just doing other things. But I kind of see your point where maybe it's just a diversification of all this stuff where there's just so many different places now to like invest your time that it's kind of like breaking all these groups up into littler groups. And that's why we're seeing some things go down.
Yeah, because I always looked at, I don't know if you ever watched the TV show The Middle.
Yes.
TV show Middle was on for 9 seasons. And it always did okay viewerships. Not much for a show that would have lasted 9 years on TV, and that was used kind of as a tie-in show. The thing was that the next day streaming numbers for that show pushed it up to a higher tier show. So like people wouldn't watch it when it was live. The next day numbers on Hulu were so much higher that pushed it up by like 2 or 3 million people. And like that's what companies look at now, and I think when you see like companies like NBC's defending the Olympics, and like, yeah, they're probably looking at the streaming numbers and all, and like, hey, we're doing pretty good. I also think that you don't have to be, like, I think of football, for example. Like, it used to be like you had to watch the game. Now it's like, oh, I'll just follow the game on my phone if I want to go, especially in the fall. Like, I want to go to the pumpkin patch with my family. I'll follow the game on my phone when I'm out.
And my brother-in-law actually says that instead of watching the games, he just watches the YouTube 10-minute video breakdown of the game.
I think that's a big thing. I think, like, yeah, because it's like if you want to watch it, I watch a lot of, like, because I'm not in Philly, I don't get a lot of sports. I'll watch a lot of like the 5-minute highlights or 10-minute highlights from a game. I think that's just the way of the future. Like people aren't tied down to this watching that one game now.
Yeah, and
they want to do other stuff.
That's true. Yeah, I have Game Pass. I know a lot of times I will watch the games like after the fact and watch them in like the hour or 45 minutes or however long it takes on Game Pass. So yeah, I'll do that instead of watching like Monday Night Game live or watching the Thursday Night Game live, because I don't want to stay up that late a lot of times or have other things going on. So yeah, maybe it is the diversification of like all the different places where you can get things now.
And I think so. And I think even take social media into account to it is like I look at like the Oscars, like I do want to watch the Oscars, but sometimes it's like just boring where you just kind of want to know who wins.
Yeah, it's like 4 hours long, isn't it?
Yeah, and like you can just check who wins like on your phone.
Yeah, that's what I do
when it comes out, and like they have like breaking news and all, or like if you're on Twitter, like oh my god, did you see that? And like you can flip over. And so I think like those live events, I think like if for really get somebody to watch, like you have to have those live events. But like if you look at the, I know you were a big fan when Oprah interviewed, was it Meghan and Henry?
Right? Meghan Markle?
Harry and Meghan?
Yeah.
Is that who he's married to? William's married to Kate, right?
I don't know. I don't follow the royals.
But like that viewership for that was so high. Like, because there was an event. Like, they haven't done any interviews. It's Oprah. People wanted to watch it live. They wanted to see it, and like it had a market, and like people wanted to see it. It was something else that was different. So people watch something different, but these events that are constantly happening, like sporting events and like the Oscars are every year, unless it's like a big like controversy, or like with the Oscars, like unless they're like, oh, it could go either way, I don't think you're going to get the numbers that you're used to getting.
Yeah, you're right. And on top of that, I haven't really gone to the movies. I've only been like once or twice this year. So that's another thing where like, is it they're just not putting good movies in theaters, or is it I'm just willing to wait now for it to come to like Netflix or HBO or wherever it's going?
I think the Oscars have become a lot more, I mean, this isn't a technology part, but the Oscars itself has become a lot more like artistry movies. Like, they're movies that, like, this is just made for the Oscars. Because if you look at, like, past Oscars nominees, or, like, getting all these random movies that were also big pop cultural sensations, or, like, big in the zeitgeist, and then it was just, like, here's a movie that no one saw. Like, I saw the movie Spotlight. I liked it, but it wasn't, like, a huge movie. Saw the movie Green Book. It wasn't a huge movie. It won Best Picture. Like, so you get these movies that just come out in November, and like November to December, you're getting also the big blockbusters. You usually get like a Star Wars or a superhero movie, and they just get buried, and then that's what people want to see nominated.
Yeah, I feel like
that's what they want to nominate.
They've gone like more niche with like the films they nominate, I feel like, as well, like what you're saying. So yeah, maybe that's one of the things as well. They're more going towards like the more niche crowd, and that's like not as big of a popularity thing. Like if they were nominating Marvel or DC movies to things, people would like tune in and like, oh, I can't wait for this Marvel movie to win.
Yeah, what was the year like the Dark Knight? Did they have 5 or not 10 categories that year?
That was the year I think they had when they started doing the larger number of movies. So I think there was probably 8, 9, 10 movies nominated. It was never like it had to be 10. It was like it could cap out at 10, I think.
But like that's like a prime example of a movie that everybody loved, that made a ton of money, that everybody like reviews and all like were great.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's not nominated.
Or Return of the King, which was like $1 billion movie, and it won Best Picture and like pretty much every other award in the books.
Well, that was the give it to all 3 movies like makeup, because like the Lord of the Rings didn't win like anything for the first 2 movies, and then it was like,
well, I'm just going to pose this poll of the week. Do you think viewership's down because people are tired of just looking at screens with work and like video conferencing and all that? Or is viewership down because of the diversification of entertainment or, other?
Yeah, the screen thing is odd because I think people are just looking at this year, right? So, like, they're like, oh, people don't want to be on the screens that much this year.
Yeah, but I feel like that we've gone that way with everybody constantly being on their smartphone and stuff. Like, more and more people have smartphones now than ever before.
So the year the Dark Knight came out, that would have been 5. I think they doubled it the next year.
Oh, okay.
To 10. Because there's like the other movies were Benjamin Button, False Nixon, Milk, The Reader, and Slumdog Millionaire won.
Oh yeah, I do remember that year.
That movie sucked.
So, all right, yeah. Do you have anything else to add before we close out?
I don't think so. If you're watching the Olympics, watch it. It's fun. The athletes are excited.
By the way, last week fall won handedly. Most people who voted on our poll voted for fall. Summer had, I think it was fall, spring, summer, and then winter. Not one person voted for winter.
Nah, that's sad.
Yeah, kind of sad, but what do you expect?
People don't like sleigh bells and snowmen and
people don't like seasonal depression.
That's true.
So
way to bring down the show, Mike.
I know. So thanks for listening. You can find us at the Feature Jam on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can also send us an email at thefeaturejam@gmail.com. Give us some ideas, thoughts, comments, and please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. That would be awesome.
Yeah, you guys have a great night or day.
Bye.